won a title last year, but tonight, something new for LeBron and company. They host a playoff game at Staples Center. After a lackluster opening game in the series, AD came to life in Game 2. 34-10 for the Brow, and Dennis Schröder scored 24. That earned him a chauffeured ride to the locker room. It's the Lakers and Suns. Game 3 tips off at 7 o'clock here on Spectrum Sportsnet. The Lakers have won their last 6 playoff series when tied 1-1, dating back to 2009. Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Chris McGee, James Worthy, Robert Ory, Allie, Brez, Trudell, the whole team assembled and ready for game number 3. You like game 3s, don't you, Rob?
Oh, I love games.
I know you do. All right, it's been a long wait, Laker fans, but tonight, the Lake Show are going to give you something you have not seen in 8 years. A home playoff game at Staples Center. April 28th, 2013 was the last time that happened. And it's been way too long.
It's been that long?
Yes.
Wow.
Good to be back. We've seen fans around the league back in arenas. MSG, guys, was electric for that Knicks comeback win a night ago against the Atlanta Hawks, and it just feels right. Big game.
Yeah, and it's good to see, you know, some normalcy coming back into people's lives. You know, people need sports. That, you know, that getting that energy out, that cheering, that screaming, that hollering, it's extremely therapeutic for sports fans. They get to come and they get to vent that pressure that they've had from work all week or whatever. So yes, it was good to see, good to hear. You know, I can't wait till Staples get back to full capacity, but even on the visitors' side, it was just nice to hear.
You know, sports is like no other thing. It can bring enemies together. It can bring people together who don't think they will ever come together. Think about how many times you high-fived someone at a sporting event. You had no clue who it was. I know you can't high-five now and things of that nature, but it's incredible how much joy a winning a sports franchise that's winning a game can bring to not just the arena, but the city in itself. It just makes the city feel alive. And to finally have a playoff game back in Staples Center, oh man, I'm excited.
Think about it, Rob. 2013, right? That's the first year of our network. I mean, last year they win a championship, and the fans, frankly, in LA get robbed of seeing that. No parade. I mean, there's some sadness that comes with that because we're reminded of what this country and this world was going through. But Rob, I mean, some of your greatest moments have been at Staples Center. For Big Game James, they were the Forum. And tonight, the Laker fans get to see it.
Oh, yeah. You know, the thing about this is when you're a Laker player and you put this uniform, you want this moment. And this moment is getting into the playoffs and having the opportunity to bring another championship to the Los Angeles Lakers. You want to say, hey, I walked in Staples Center. I walked in the Forum. I walked in whatever arena the Lakers are playing in, and I helped this franchise get a championship. And that's what you want. You want that love as a player. You want to play in front of those fans.
James, whenever we show those old highlights of the Showtime team at the Forum, the first thing that comes to my mind is that crowd. I mean, they were just right on top of you guys. They're all standing. How different was it in the playoffs?
It was like Big Shot Rob's Big Shot against Sacramento. It was like that every playoff game. It was, you know, the Forum was the first architecture design, you know, of its era back in the 60s when they left the sports arena and they built the Forum. I mean, everybody came from all over the world to see that arena, and there wasn't a bad seat in the house. That was it. And if you sat way up in the 300 section, they didn't care if you came down, if there was an empty seat. So it was a little different, but it was rocking over there in Inglewood, and you know, it still has a lot of members in that building.
Rob, does it make you feel like a rock star? I mean, you know what it's like to be a rock star. For that one, when you hit that shot, that was the loudest probably you've ever heard in terms of your playing career.
It's the loudest it's been in any arena I ever played in, and for, you know, you make a moment like that, it's like, okay, you can make a shot like that in the regular season, but when you do it in the postseason against a team that is supposed to be your rival, and you make that shot and the crowd goes crazy, and for me, you know, you have those moments where you get your name, they chant your name like every once in a while, But for you to have your name chanted for about 20 minutes,
oh man,
it was bad. I felt like a rock star. I said, watch out, Mick Jagger. Watch out, Prince. Rob is coming through.
Oh man, I got goosebumps thinking about it. All right, speaking of Staples Center, check this out. It's a big announcement by AEG and the Lakers, and it was announced today. 20 more seasons at Staples Center. Jeannie Buss on the partnership. We are excited to extend our partnership with AEG. Staples Center ranks as one of the best arenas in the world to play and watch basketball, and we are thrilled to be able to call it home for another 2 decades. The decision was made first and foremost with our fans and players in mind, and AEG's commitment to investing significant capital in the arena means that the Lakers will continue to play in one of the world's premier venues. So check this out, guys. With fans returning to Staples Center tonight for a playoff game, it's also important to remind fans what not to do. I mean, let's act like we've been there before. This is terrible and disgusting. During the Knicks-Hawks game, a fan spit on Trae Young. And in the Philadelphia game, another unfortunate moment when a fan threw popcorn on Wizard Russell Westbrook. Both were banned from MSG and Wells Fargo indefinitely. Season tickets gone. Just unacceptable behavior, guys, no matter who or where you are. As former players, I got to think you guys have seen it all, but there's just no place for it. Big game, James.
I am totally against that. Unless you're playing the Celtics. That's all. No, I'm totally teasing. No, I don't think there's anything, in the game for that in any sport, whatever it is. It'd be popcorn today. It'd be a soda. Next thing, somebody will be throwing batteries at you. Something hit you in the eye. So, yeah, I don't care where you are, on the road or what arena. I just think this person should not be allowed to go to an NBA game ever again. They need to set an example because you don't want, players being in jeopardy or being in, some type of position where they can get hurt. I remember this was a long time ago. There was a tennis star, a female tennis star that got stabbed. I can't remember her name. Monticello. Somebody ran on the court. So yeah, you have to stop that stuff immediately because you don't want that kind of interaction with fans and players.
I mean, that's how the Malice in the Palace started.
Yeah, for me, it's like, think about this. As a player, if you're out, or someone with some kind of status, you out, and you took some popcorn and poured it on someone, first thing they're going to do is they're going to sue you. Mm-hmm. And they're going to say, I'm traumatized about this and that. And so right now, for me, they should sue that guy, the 2 people who did that, and set a precedent now that we're not going to allow you to touch our players, because if they were off the court, 9 times out of 10, you probably wouldn't do it. And if they did it to you, you're going to sue them. Yep. So now, if the players should be able to sue them, like, I should say, I'm traumatized now. I can never eat popcorn again. I can't go to a movie. Something silly, because that's what they would do. Yeah. And so I feel like they should allow whoever it happens to, Westbrook, to say, you know what, I'm going to sue him, and whatever money that I get from him, I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to donate to a charity. I
remember Charles Barkley throwing a guy through a window.
Yeah.
For throwing a beer on him in Milwaukee. So be careful what you ask for. But yeah, there's no room for, that kind of stuff. And as a player, unless you're protecting yourself or your family, it's really hard to, kind of hold back. But you really have to. Yeah. You don't want to get into a situation. But then you're getting right into what Rob talking about, a lawsuit that you don't want.
Act like you've been there before.
That's what they're looking for in most cases.
100%. All right, keep it here on Spectrum Sportsnet for Game 3. Kyle Kuzma is one of the Lakers who has not yet made his mark offensively in this series. Kuz has only taken 6 shots through 2 games. He's due for a breakout. And coming up on Access, AD put the Game 1 loss on him, and he responded. Up next, we'll discuss the Browns' bounce back in Game 2 and what to expect from him moving forward.
Access Sportsnet Lakers is brought to you in part by
Davis got it. Yes, sir. AD for 3.
Play with a lot more energy and effort tonight.
Finish it, AD.
I don't put too much pressure on myself. I go out there and just play basketball and just play it aggressive. I think that was the difference from Game 1.
AD from Braun. AD draws a little contact, no whistle, but he scores from the mid-range.
Just trying to stay locked in and knowing that it's going to be a challenge to repeat, obviously. It's going to be a challenge to beat this team. And in order for our team to do that, we're going to have to, play how I play tonight or better.
Blocked by AD. It's a mismatch, and AD goes hard to the hole and scores.
Just getting in the mode of, this is a must win. I think we all came out with that mindset, and we was able to get the job done.
And Anthony Davis was in need of a comeback after Game 1. He had scored just 13 points in the playoff opener, which was tied for his lowest scoring output in his playoff career. He made sure to quiet all that talk in Game 2. He had 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, hitting 18 free throws. Rob, what adjustments did you see from AD from Game 1 to 2?
The biggest adjustment is north and south, like we always talk about. AD was going towards the basket instead of trying to fade away, spin out, or whatever a finesse move he was trying to do. He was attacking the basket. You saw on that one play where he went towards Ayton and he got the and one. And that's what you want to see out of an aggressive AD, because when he's in that mode, he's going to get to the free throw line. He's going to make it easier for everybody else, because now they're going to start trapping, and he's such a great passer. He can kick it out and get some good shots for those three-point shooters. So he needs to stay in attack mode.
And we saw that, especially getting to the line 21 times. You know the Lakers record when he gets there. He makes 18, which was huge. Big M James, I want to show you some numbers. AD in the playoffs throughout his career, 30 and 10 games are actually normal for him. Since his draft year, he's got 10 of them, fourth best in the NBA. LeBron leads with 36. And James, he hasn't played that many playoff games comparable to those names in front of him. So that is more like the norm, and you want to see it more often.
No doubt. And, for a lot of LA fans, we know before he came here, that was then. Now he's got to pop those numbers consistently. And, he's going to have a bad game. I remember Kareem had a horrible first game against the Celtics. It was called Massacre Day or something.
People were asking him to retire.
And so, we got beat by 36 points. And the reason was that, Kareem didn't set the tone. He was our tone setter. I keep using that word. When you're big, sets the tone. He didn't have to, carry you the whole game, but that's what AD did the second game. He made up his mind that whether the ball was going to the cup or not, whether he was making shots, that they was going to feel him, that they were going to feel his presence. He blocked shots early. He got rebounds early. Rob just stated, going north to south, whether he was knocking down shots or not, they felt him, and his teammates felt that, and that's how they were able to conjure up that momentum.
All right, let's get you to the Lakers reporter Mike Trudell, who joins us live at Staples Center. Mike, it's been over 8 years since the Lakers welcomed fans at Staples Center for a home playoff game. That streak, it ends tonight, Mike.
Yeah, Geeter, and you can already start to sense some of the excitement as fans start to filter in here. And we know it's not going to be a sellout, but I think it can sound like one based on the energy level for what you just mentioned, the first playoff game in a long time, and one, of course, that matters. The Lakers came home with a split. They do have home court. And in talking to Frank Vogel, guys, one thing I wanted to figure out, we don't always talk enough about LeBron and AD together as a defensive duo, and that's something that not every team's best two players can do. And they really impacted that game, too, in a sense, especially down the stretch. So we started with Frank Vogel touching on that point.
Yeah, they really stepped up. Obviously, they're a big reason for our defensive success, both with their physical abilities, but also their intelligence, their IQ, being able to negotiate things on the backside and also dominate their man in most situations. So, those guys are a huge part of our defensive success.
Frank, are you willing to live with some of the shots that DeAndre Ayton's getting inside to, protect other areas of the floor? Are there parts of that you still need to and want to take away to a greater degree?
Yeah, we want to take it away. He's hurting us, and we've tried to talk about ways that we can do that, but we don't want to open up the three-point line, which has been a strength of theirs this year. So, it's one of those things where we want to do both. We want to limit him more than we're doing, without opening up things at the three-point line.
And then, Frank, how would you evaluate Drummond's impact on both sides of the court, and what has stood out to you in these two games so far?
Yeah, well, I thought Game 2 was maybe his best game as a Laker. Certainly the best game of this series, and he really just had a lot of strong finishes in the lane, offensive rebounds. got his hands on a lot of balls defensively to help us get out on the break, and really just showed a presence in the pick and roll defense, and that allowed AD to really dominate the defensive boards. But just a strong two-way performance by Drummond.
Ben? Brian, your shot creators like Schröder and AD and LeBron, and obviously Drummond are on the basket and getting good attempts and been able to score, but kind of the role players haven't so much. Is that a ball movement thing? What can you do to try to, I'm sure you'd like to get those guys going. What can you do to make that happen?
Yeah, we have to move the ball better. That's you answered your own question, and that's what we've talked about. That's the answer. We have to create more advantages, for our group offensively, whether it's cuts or rolls or drives to the paint. How many times we can touch the paint and then make better decisions when we're there. We've been a great extra pass basketball culture the last couple of years, and we've been pretty good with it so far in this series, but it has to be better.
All right, guys, you heard Vogel talk about Drummond and how well he played in Game 2. We're going to hear from Geeter's best friend a little bit later in the show. Back to you, Chris.
We're best friends. By the way, Mike, I do want to share something with you. We dug this up. The last time the Lakers were at Staples for the playoffs, take a look at a young, fresh Michael Trudell.
Yeah,
Look at the cut.
I don't have a monitor in front of me right now, but I'm sure it's just spectacular. I'll leave that be.
Dude, your hair is on point, by the way.
Probably spiky? Yeah.
Yeah, a little spiky.
Yeah. That's how we did it.
Mike, that was like your first suit where all you had was that one. You would just change the shirt color and the tie.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Did that for like 5 years. Yeah. That was before I had kids, too. So at that point, it was all, it was just a mess.
Man.
That
Great
Don
stuff.
King Afro
He
going.
had the Don King Afro going big games. Oh, man, that was good times. All right, Mike, we're back in the playoffs. Yeah, one more look at it, Rob. One more look at it.
Thanks for that one, guys. Thanks for that one.
That should be in a frame, man. We got to put that in the hallway in a frame. That is
please do.
Well, guess what, Rob? No longer. Lakers are back in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's take a look at the lineup. The last time the Lakers had a home playoff game compared to what the Lakers have used in the Suns series. I want to read this off for big game. Darius Morris, Andrew Goudlock, Uncle Earl Clark,
Uncle Earl,
Powell and Dwight, as opposed to Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Dennis Schroeder, KCP, and Andre Drummond. That's crazy.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who is Good Luck Lock?
Goudlock.
Who is that?
South Carolina, Charleston.
That's my part of the world. But
Yeah, a lot of guys were hurt. A guy named Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles. Steve Nash was hurt. Steve Blake was hurt. And the list just goes on.
Wow.
And on.
Let me tell you something.
I could have got a 10-day.
That's what Brez brought this up the other day on the podcast. Pop had a great quote after that series. He was like, really, we didn't beat the Lakers. Like, there's nothing to celebrate here.
Your boy was miserable over there. Miserable.
Me?
Yes, you were. For a long time.
I struggled.
Well,
But you know what?
I was here and I don't even remember
Adversity
that.
is good for the soul. You fight through it, right?
Right.
You know what Andy Dufresne did in Shawshank Redemption, right?
Oh.
Sometimes you got to get through a mile of you know what. Get out the other side. We're living on the beach.
If you don't fall, you don't know how to get up.
Exactly, Big Game James. Straight ahead on Access, the Lakers took Game 2 from the Suns. What are the keys to getting the Game 3 victory tonight at Staples? Our Laker insider Mike Bresnahan is going to break it down ahead.
Run it, yeah, run it.
His brother Powell was in the Lakers starting lineup the last time the Lakers hosted a playoff game. Mark's turn tonight. About 34 minutes to tip off on the Domino's Tracker Countdown Clock. Track your pizza delivery at Domino's.com. Time to welcome in our Laker insider, Mike Bresnahan. Time for Brez's three-point play. Three things that you were looking forward to in this game. Let's start with the attendance that will be had at Staples Center tonight. What's the latest?
I'm looking forward to more people, Allie, and that's exactly what we're going to get. When we last saw the Lakers at home in a playoff game last week, the play-in game, about 6,000 people. Tonight, a week later, about 7,000 to 8,000 people. And I talked to Tim Harris, the president of Lakers business operations. I'm telling you, it's an extremely complex thing to try to get as many people as you can with some of these state and local ordinances still in play, undoubtedly. I feel like after talking with him, I need a Rhodes Scholar and 3 doctorates to really get the feel for who exactly is going to be there and not be there. But the bottom line, Allie, It's moving up slowly, incrementally. Like I said, between 7,000 and 8,000 people. Keep in mind, though, June 15th, if the COVID levels stay low, everything opens up. We'll get close to 19,000 people at Staples Center if the Lakers indeed get to that second round. Maybe not quite 19, but 18 or so. It's going to be really close to capacity, so everyone just kind of hang in there for now. Another 1,000 or 2 tonight compared to just last week.
Because bottom line, health and safety is the main priority.
100%.
A lot of people working their tails off to put it
for sure.
Put it back into play, of course. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, what stands out to you?
I'll tell you what. Last year, playoff opener, he had 1 point. Not a good start for him, but he had a pretty good rest of the playoffs. You know, another solid 2 months for him after that. Same thing kind of happened in game 1 this year. Not too good. You say, okay, he overcame this last year, but as you can see there, he had another rough game in game 2. 111 overall from 3-point range. The thing about game 2, Allie, he only took 4 shots, which is pretty low for KCP. He passed up a lot of shots. He had some open looks. Instead, he dished it to another teammate. LeBron had a little chat with him after the game, or I should say during the game. During a timeout, he basically said, look, I need you to shoot. You know, I'm not a great lip reader, but anyone could say that's exactly what he was telling KCP. We need the old KCP back from the playoffs last year.
Agreed. Crazy stat, plus 19 still?
Yeah, plus 19.
Minutes.
Great defense for KCP.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up in that game, too. So he's still doing it defensively, but he's got to make some shots and take some shots, too.
Yep. Center position. I feel like there's always a lot to talk about there.
Seriously, it's become like a staple of our 3-point play, right?
Yeah.
The other night, Gasol came off the bench. Montrezl Harrell did not play. A lot of people saying, okay, so what's the attack tonight as far as the 5? Andre Drummond, he had a very nice game tonight. Nice double-double. Montrezl did not play. And most coaches, you stick with what worked. If you're coming off a win, usually the lineup stays pretty much the same. So I expect Gasol to get that spot off the bench, kind of filling in for Drummond. Marc Gasol, 2 threes, had a big one about halfway through the 4th quarter the other night, really kind of kept that Laker momentum going. So I do feel that indeed it'll be Drummond and Gasol. And by the way, those guys almost played the entire game at center, which means Anthony Davis, very little time switching from the power forward, which he prefers, to the center position. So a good deal for him.
Keep him happy.
And one last thing, Allie, Robert Horry and I are feeling very left out. We were just talking during the commercial because you and Geet and James took a very nice Insta photo. And Rob and I, we're going to take our own photo, right, Rob?
Yes. Where we at?
By the way, it's the only time Brez has ever been on IG. Just letting y'all know.
Obviously he cares.
Obviously he cares. Well done, as always. We got one more. Jeannie Buss tweeting about tonight's home playoff game. Just putting it all into perspective. 2,952. 2,952. 2,952. Repeated a few times to let it sink in. That is the number of days since our last playoff game at Staples Center. Way too long. Tonight, let's get loud. Whether it's Staples Center or at home, we will be respectful of our opponent and each other.
Sweet.
Well said.
I like it.
The Lakers and Suns will tip off Game 3 in a little more than 30 minutes. And before that, Andre Drummond is going to rage. Go one-on-one. He will with Mike Trudell. That interview with Dre, it's on the way. Plus, next on Access, Dennis Schröder was a big part of the Lakers' big win in Game 2. Up next, big shot. Robert Horry breaks down an aggressive effort from Dennis against the Suns. Access Sportsnet Lakers is brought to you
from the perimeter as well, both from the 3 and from the mid-range. We just stay in attack mode.
Schröder's going to go to the basket, throw it up and in. Dennis the Menace.
Dennis in particular scoring the basketball, a really impactful performance.
Bounce, Schröder, here he goes, all the way, scored with the left hand.
Right.
Time now for the Little Access 360, brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
Good times.
Good times. Dennis, by the way, guys, was huge in Game 2. Went off for 24 points. And in the second quarter, 14 points during a crucial stretch where the Lakers were really struggling to score. Rob, he was fantastic, both ends of the floor. Break it down. Drop and roll.
You got to break it down, so you got to drop the chair down. Right here, we're going to show you what Dennis the Menace does to make the teams. Look at him. You're in his double team. You can't really see him right here, but he comes out this with a great block by Kuzma off to the races. I want to point out something right here. Look at him point at LeBron. LeBron, move out the way. I got this, man. I got this. Let me run this show. Now you see him. You think Drummond's going to come down and say he waits. He hits him with that little burst of speed. blows by him for an easy layup. Now you got the same thing. Oh, I'm going to give it up. I'm going to come back. LeBron, play with me right here a little bit. Play with this little pick and roll. I'm going to come off. I can drive because we know that Payne has been playing really good. So you know what? I'm going to exploit you on the defensive end right here. He has this lane. He's a little heavy, and he takes off. Right here, Payne doesn't get in the way to take the charge, and he scoops by him for a lift. Now right here, you got good defense by KCP. We off to the race. LeBron usually does his thing right here, but he's like, you know what? Key at the top of the key. We got Dennis Simmons at the top of the key. So let me go to work. This is the best play I thought right here. Because look, he has that alley to go to the rack. He goes to the rack. And my favorite shot is that long scoop. Stephen Ford was the best at that, right, James? Yes, now we got at the top of the key again. This is his work area. He's going to work. Now he goes off the same thing. They got a double pick. Look, you got AD. You got Gasol who could pop out for these. Look where AD goes. This is what Aiden from the Suns is doing, getting right to the top of the key. He goes up, drops it off to AD for a slam dunk. That's what Dennis can do with his change of pace, his speed, and everything he does at the point guard. But the thing that I love best is when he did this, he told LeBron, get out the way, move. Get out the way. I got this. And he needs to do more of that because he has the advantage with his speed.
I agree. Great breakdown right there. James, I want to show you this. Let's go inside access. This is Dennis Schröder in the playoffs so far versus the Suns. I think you're going to like this because Rob just brought it up. He's getting it done in the paint. 48% of his shots are coming in the paint, and he's hitting 73% of them. Also 50% from three and 33% from mid-range. It's a good sign, big game.
It is, Geeter. And what I love about Dennis is, in his earlier years, he's a great scorer. And to see a young player evolve into, okay, I know I can score in this league. Now I want to lead. I want to start at point guard. Those are what the statements that he made when he came here. And he has done nothing but been a major extra dimension to this ball club because his defense is second to none, the way he picks people up full court, and his now willingness to be a passer and a guy that reads defenses and knows how to get other people involved. It doesn't come easy. He's had to learn a lot. He's had to talk a lot. He's had to look at a lot of video. And so, yes, I'm happy to see that his game has come full circle.
As good as your breakdown was, it still wasn't good enough to get in the photo. And I know it's causing a little weirdness on the set, so we're going to kind of show everyone what we're talking about. Listen, sometimes the best moments, Rob, like your shot against the Kings, happen organically. And this happened in our hallway. You and Brez were nowhere to be found. It was about 6 minutes before the show, and we got a picture done. Who knew the lighting was going to be the greatest it's ever been in that hallway? Natural light in the picture. Who knows? It could win an Emmy one day.
And we got the Game of Thrones chair in the back.
Yeah, it's all there. And you weren't in it. You weren't in it, Rob. And I know it hurts, man. I've been left out before. I know.
Got to skip class and hang out in the hallway sometime.
You'll always have You'll always have 7 rings, though.
Brez didn't want you either, remember? You didn't even make
Brez left you off his top Laker list.
I don't know where to go now. I got no home.
Brez picked DJ Bango over you.
I did do that.
But you know what?
We had a fun night partying in Dallas once.
You're always going to have 7 rings, man.
Yeah,
that's it.
Probably the only time we forgot you had 7 rings.
I know.
And Brez, again.
And the greatest moment in Staples history, and he's we know.
You got to earn it around here.
You do.
Hey, my anniversary was yesterday. I can't even get in the picture, man. Come on.
Where were you 19 years ago? Allie?
19 years?
Yeah, you were.
Okay, well, it didn't take long, and we thought it may happen. Andre Drummond was a beast in Game 2 en route to earning his first career playoff win. He was active early and often, putting up a double-double at the half, finishing with 15 points, 12 boards, and 2 steals. But the real takeaway, what he really earned, was a new nickname. Yep, no more Big Penguin, insert Drum Dog Millionaire. Thanks to LeBron James. Drum Dog, look, I'm here for it. And if he continues to bring that effort to the hardwood every night, I'll stay here for it. What does he think? What does he have for Game 3? Let's find out. Earlier, he joined Mike. I'm out of breath.
All right, Andre Drummond, kind enough to join us down here courtside after finishing his pregame workout. Dre, Frank just said that was one of your best games as a Laker in Game 2 on both sides of the court. What did you see that was effective, and let's start on the defensive side of the court, containing some of those screen roll actions?
Yeah, defensively, just watching this team and, playing them before and knowing their schemes. I mean, it's not that hard to figure it out, playing the same team, a couple times in a row and knowing what their schemes are and know how to stop them. Tonight's going to be even better.
You know, you said that it was going to take just a bit of time figuring out with LeBron and AD, and the offensive glass has been a big part of your game forever, but especially these last two, Dre. What are you starting to notice about the attention that they attract and how you can get your spots going on the glass like that?
You know, being on the court with those guys, just like you just said, like the attention that they bring, just it frees that glass up. It's just a one-on-one battle between me and my man, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get that rebound.
Yeah, well, we've seen that right over the course of your career. Hey, DeAndre Ayton has been effective inside, right? You guys have seen the tape. Andre, you have limited the guard some, but what can you do to take away some of those looks for him inside?
You know, it's what we do is we're trying to stop those two guards between Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Those guys are the head of the snake, and sometimes we do have to allow those baskets from DeAndre. You know, those layups that he gets when we're double teaming Booker. You know, with him, just got to continue to play him physical. He's going to make baskets. He's a great basketball player. Just try to limit the easy ones and play our game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take everything away, right? So that's part of it. All right, last thing. So this is the first playoff game at Staples Center in a while. Your first playoff game in this building. Going to be some more fans, it seems like, than last game. Are you looking forward to that energy? Is that something you think can lift you guys?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, first time in 8 years and my first time, you know, on a home court, you know, for the Los Angeles Lakers. It's going to be nothing like it, so I'm looking forward to the experience of getting a win here tonight.
Dre, appreciate the time. Have a good one, all right?
Welcome. Thank you.
All right, check out our new Lake Show podcast. The latest episode is now live on our Spectrum News.